Hi everybody, my name is Morgan Simpson and I'm the author of What's Running You? How to Become the Entrepreneur of Your Life. And this is my first YouTube video. And to be honest, I feel slightly silly. I don't know, I can kind of hear my brother making fun of me in the back of my head and probably my own self making fun of me. But one of the things I talk about in the book is that I'm trying to say yes to more of the creative ideas that hit me that I kind of instinctually want to do, but then I kind of get these voices of fear and these thoughts of fear that come in and try to stop me. So I'm just trying to say yes to those a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to put this video out, and some people who have read the book kind of contacted me and told me that they really like the morning routine I did. What I call my workout pray prep. So I thought I would just kind of break it down a little bit and go through it in the video and kind of show you what I do, because I'm also kind of fascinated in the systems that we kind of implement in our lives and the habits we do to kind of make life the best we can and kind of the most enriched and best experience. So I would love to hear your ideas as well, and that we can help each other out and get through this a little bit better. And I must say, my son saw a little bit of the workout video I did, and he was, oh my gosh, he was humiliated. He's like, "Dad, you can't do this." And it's true. I've had some back issues for the last couple of months. I've still been doing this, but I'm mostly stretching. I'm back working out. But I don't want to let that stop me too, because I've put on a little weight, whatever, and and maybe I'll make one in like 3 months where I do the progress. Maybe like the first quarter of next year, I'll do another one, show where I'm at. But it's been super helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for you. And I guess, what do they say? Subscribe, all that good stuff. And appreciate you checking it out. Thanks so much.
All right, it's about 6 o'clock. Let's do this. All right, so we're dressed, splashed a little water on our face, and now we are gonna go work out. And yes, here is the fancy workout area. That's right. Old school solo flex. Don't be jealous. All right, so focusing primarily on body weight exercises. I really like them, although I switch it up. So I'm obviously doing some pull-ups. I'll do things like squats, push-ups. I did some stretching to start off. And, it's a short workout. Obviously, this is not an Arnold Schwarzenegger body right here. There's been times where I've, been training for something like done a half marathon, done a couple of Malibu triathlons, and, then you're working out more, you're kind of adjusting, you're going to pools and stuff like that. So you got to adjust, make it work for you. But this is a great workout. Bodyweight stuff's good. And so we're going to do a couple more things. I'm going to move into some push-ups right now. I mean, how impressive are those calves? My 5-year-old daughter has bigger calves than I do. Planking is very hard. Let's just assume I've been doing this about 15 minutes. Okay, we finished our workouts, and now we're gonna move on to pray. Now, usually the kiddos are still sleeping, so I come into the closet, put a mat down right here. There's the mat. But obviously you just gotta find the best place for you in your house where you can get a little alone time. Okay, so we finished our workout. We've taken care of our body. Now we're gonna move on to the pray section and kind of work on our soul a little bit. So for my prayer and kind of meditation time, I use a mindfulness technique I talk about in the book called the stop technique. There's Walker, my dog, barking. The S is for stop. The T is for take a breath. The O is for observe. The P is for proceed with the next best step. I add another P in there, pray, because I like to kind of, right before the last proceed, because I like to kind of turn it over, let it all go. So I kind of use that as a framework for this, where I stop and then I take a bunch of breaths. I'm kind of trying to slow my breaths down. I feel like if I wake up with anxiety, my breath is kind of going at the same rate as my mind. Like when my mind gets really anxious, my breathing gets anxious. So I'm almost trying to slow down my breath because it slows down my mind. And then a lot of people talk about meditation. I mean, the observe part is kind of what I look at as meditation. I know people talk about not thinking. I mean, I don't really do that. What I try to do is just kind of, the best way I could say is kind of like change where my consciousness is maybe a little bit or something. Like I try to observe, you know, I'm trying to get a little deeper into myself, maybe get out of my head, get a little deeper in here. I'm just kind of observing my thoughts instead of getting trapped in them, you know? So I'm just trying to observe and be like, that's funny. That's kind of crazy. Like, why would you think that? And just kind of separating from those thoughts a little bit. So that's what I do. And then I go on to a more prayer thing where I kind of I might start with my life and kind of I'm thankful for my health, you know, my body, mind, soul, and then I kind of move on to my family and just kind of focus on gratitude, the things I'm thankful for. And then with the last 5 or so minutes, I'll kind of move into like my day, what I want to happen in my day, kind of do some good visualizing. This is also a time, like we talk about in the book, you know, we're surrendering and we're forgiving. That's a big part of the book. And I think like last night, you know, my 14-year-old son had a basketball game, and I'm not gonna lie, the other parents were like terrible. They're the most obnoxious basketball fans I've ever seen. They drove me nuts. I literally spent time, you can see I'm not even over it. That's why I'm gonna meditate now to get over it. I had to explain to him like what a box out was and how that's not a foul, and I actually moved. So it was not my best self. I let it get to me. It drove me crazy. So I'm gonna try to let that go here this morning, because that's part of this, just letting stuff go so we can enter our day from a great place. So I'm gonna get moving on that. I use an app, different apps sometimes, but I might use like the Calm app and kind of do a time meditation part, like 5 minutes and stuff like that. I like just music, so there's also a YouTube music thing I like. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get working on the soul, and we'll be right back for the prep. All right, so we finished our workout and our prayer time. So we worked out our body and our soul. Now we're gonna move on to the mind and do something I like to call prep. And for that, we're gonna head in here. You can see we're getting some Christmas cards. There's our niece and her new hubby. My wife tapes them to the office door. And okay, here's a little overview. And just to let you know, I try to get this done in an hour. You know, the workout takes about a half an hour. Prayer is about 15, 20 minutes, and the prep about 10 minutes. That's what I'm shooting for. I don't always hit it, but that's what I'm shooting for. An hour. Also, for those of you who read the book, here's a couple of pictures of Meredith's board members. There's my dad, and over here I've got my granddaddy as well, here with my grandmother, and inspirations from the inspiration list. Look at this. Let's see if we can see this. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to have been able to give people little pieces of time they can remember. Jimmy Stewart. This is actually from Jimmy Stewart's driveway from when they tore his house down. My wife got me that. I love it. All right, so let's open up. Let's get to it. So we got my calendar, and then I open up reminders as well. So those are the two I open up. I basically keep the whole kind of like the master calendar and master to-do list on my computer. Anything that hits in my mind that I know I need to do, I just put it right in there to kind of log it, so stuff's not in my head but down somewhere. But what this process, my prep, is, I'm basically taking the things I have to do today from these lists and putting them on one sheet of paper. So I have everything I need to do today on one sheet. So let's look a little bit more of this, and this is what I call my today list. And I like white legal pads. Obviously you can use whatever you want. This is just my little system I use. So I start, and if you, you know, in the book I talk about how kind of my mission statement is love life, because I want to live a life of love, and I also want to have fun and love life. So I kind of write that at the top. I'll do my today list, and I will do the date. And then over here, I'll generally write like 3 things that I'm grateful for. This is something I started a couple months ago, and I really like it because, like, in my prayer time, I might write, you know, the things that the bigger things, but this can be like just small things. Like one of my, you know, it's like, you know, like I'm just thinking something like, hey, maybe like I'm grateful that I have pens that I can write with. And the other one is like, this is a big one, man, that I can go turn on water and water comes, you know? So it's like water, running water is huge. And then, you know, like my dog may walk up to me and I'll be like, my boy Walker. And so I do those things that I'm grateful for, and it just kind of gets your mind working in the same, in a good way. So there's a couple of methods to this. The first thing I do is I'm combining my calendar events along with my to-dos in one list. So I only have one place where all these things are stored. So that's what this is. And I start like, look, I just did my workout. Pray, prep. So I'll put that down. I'll put the time. Look at that, I'm already crossing stuff out. How good does that feel? Can you feel that through this? It feels good. And I also label my big three. I mean, sometimes if I have more, but this one's always my first one because it's like the main thing I need to get done to kind of start my day rolling. And then I'll kind of go through, like today I have and I'll try to get my other tasks done. Like for instance, like I have an early morning meeting, so I'll put my meeting down in here. It'll be 9 a.m. so I have to go to that. And then right after that, I'll put like, I could say like, maybe my next biggest task is to edit and post video. So that's gonna kind of put that in place, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but then I just go through the rest of the day and go through these things. So I'm gonna cut and come back to when we've got it all together. Okay, so here's an example of what it might end up looking like. Like I've got a meeting, and then when I get back from that, I'm gonna do my 2 tasks, like maybe it's edit and post the video, rework script. So those are my tasks I need to get done most importantly. So I put them first, right after anything that I have to do. Schedule-wise, those go in. Then lunch, phone call, pick up the kids from practice. Then I've got paddle tennis, talk about that paddle tennis league. Coming into the season, so I'm behind some matches, so we've got to play 3 matches tonight. It's going to be brutal. So tomorrow's workout will probably be a stretch, just stretching. And then other little tasks down here. And I put a star next to things that are fun, because I want to have fun things. That's kind of my system. I do 3 big stars next to fun, gratitude, and then I've got everything here that I need.
All right, so there it is. There's my morning routine, my workout, pray, prep, and I definitely try to get up and do it first thing more. If not, I've had to, you got to be flexible in life, so sometimes I have to split it up a little bit. But if I can get it all done in the morning, I just know it really helps me, and I end up, obviously after that, you take a shower, you get dressed. I find that I eat way better if I do this. I eat healthier and kind of just get a lot of, as I talk about in the book, a lot of money in the bank, and just really start my day off on the right foot. Because if you're like me, my willpower really goes down as the day goes on. So I don't make as good a choices eating at night. So I definitely need to kind of load that up in the morning and get a lot of money in the bank. So I hope you liked it. I would love to hear what you think and what you do. So leave comments, and if you're at all interested in the book, and it's What's Running You, How to Become the Entrepreneur of Your Life, I'll leave a link to my website in the notes. And I sound like a real YouTuber. Listen to that. I'm leaving stuff in the notes. And you can go to my website. I'll send you a couple of chapters free if you sign up. You can get the book at Amazon and all that good stuff. So subscribe, and really appreciate you checking it out. And yes, I did add a filter that ages me like 20 years. I'm really much younger and way more handsome in person. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good one.